This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, where you can report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. Call 1-800-780-TIPS. By Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated. No matter what the weather condition is outside, have it your way inside. 239-693-1569. And by Lee Health.
Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. We're so thrilled to come to you from Mount Hermon Ministries, a pillar in our community, one of the great churches in America, under the leadership of the Reverend Dr. William Glover and First Lady Cheryl Glover. The accommodations here have just been outstanding. We have a fabulous show in store for you today here on Lee Pitts Live, and of course, I am Lee Pitts. Get a chance to talk to the chief of the Fort Myers Fire Department, Tracy McMillian. Also, Joe North is here to give us his rendition of a commencement speech that would take place under closing arguments with Attorney Joe North. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back.
PAL is here. The Fort Myers Police Athletic League, or PAL, as it is popularly called, is an important part of Chief Diggs' community engagement initiative to bring sports programs to young children and teenagers that promote strong character, positive life skills. Sports include football, basketball, and boxing programs. There's also cheerleading. For more information, contact Senior Program Coordinator Keith White at 239-896-7191 or email him at dwight@fmpolice.com.
Sick and tired of sitting in traffic staring at the back end of the car in front of you? Sick of burning through hundreds of dollars worth of fuel each month? Tired of dishing out more and more money to fix your car just to have it break again? Ride Letran and leave the driving to us. Whether you want to go shopping, go to the beach, or commute to work or school, let Letran get you there. It's just $1.50 per ride. Check Letran's routes, maps, schedules, and discounted rates at rideletran.com. That's rideletran.com. Letran, your ride is here.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation has over 30 years of experience providing cutting-edge medicine to our patients, regardless of their ability to pay. Our Fort Myers location offers a wide range of services, from easy access support groups and case management to advanced HIV treatment and testing. We've got you covered. Our one-stop shop model includes all healthcare and pharmacy facilities and one easy-to-access location. We even offer Ryan White services, HCV testing, and additional support services. AIDS Healthcare Foundation is honored to be a part of the Fort Myers community. Call 239-337-2391 or visit hivcare.org today.
Mosquitoes will bite day and night, so protect yourself with these tips. Keep mosquitoes outside by shutting doors and covering windows with screens. Use EPA-approved insect repellents anytime you're outdoors. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in water. Just a bottle cap of water is all they need. So drain, refresh, or cover anything around buildings that can hold water at least weekly, and put away outside items that aren't being used. A message from the Florida Department of Health.
Hi, I'm Michael Ray Qualls Jr. Everybody calls me Coach Ray, and I want to be your Lee County Sheriff. I have been a Southwest Florida resident for 26 years. As a 14-year veteran and a 21-year law enforcement officer, I have a unique and valuable perspective on the importance of a safe community. I am running because our wonderful community deserves to be safe with leadership and experience that we can trust. Law enforcement is in my blood. My dad, who served honorably in the military, is a retired law enforcement officer. He instilled in me service before self. I have experience in homicide investigations, road patrol, crisis intervention, and I'm a trained hostage negotiator. I am running as an independent. On November 3rd, I ask for your valuable vote so I can get to work for you, making our Sheriff's Department a model for this country. To learn more about my campaign and to make a donation, visit CoachRayForLeeSheriff.com. I am Coach Ray, and I approve this message.
Have you or a loved one been the victim of crime at an apartment complex or shopping mall or nightclub? If you think that crime could have been prevented, then you may have a case. Call me, Attorney Joe North, at 239-337-1191.
Welcome to another edition of Closing Arguments with Attorney Joe North, as seen on Lee Pitts Live. Now, normally we would be coming to you to discuss some legal issues and topics because that's what I do all day, every day. I love talking the law and I love bringing legal issues and topics to you. But today, we're in the middle of graduation season. So what I would like to do, not just on my own behalf, but on behalf of the entire community, is to send out a big congratulations to all of the graduates, whether we're talking about kindergartners or talking about graduates from college. We salute you, we honor you, and we applaud all of your accomplishments, and we applaud already what you're going to be doing in the future. And with that, I want to send out somewhat of a challenge to the graduates. It's not a big challenge, but just a small challenge. And that challenge is, I would like for you to think about what it is that motivates you. What is it that you love? What is it that you really want to do with the rest of your life? And then once you've decided that, go and spend the next few years, the next 4 years, really building upon that dream. Because what you do in the next few years, or the next 4 years, as I say, will determine what you do for the next 40 years. You're going to do 4 for 40. Because what you do in your immediate future will determine really what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And I'd like to share with you a personal story that causes me to bring that challenge to you. When I went to college, a long, long time ago, I arrived really not knowing what I was going to do. I was just happy to be in college. I didn't have any dreams about what was going to happen after college. But after speaking with some friends and some classmates and hearing them talk about their dreams of maybe going on to business school and getting an MBA, or going to law school or medical school or dental school, or going into the military to become an officer, because I had gone to a military college, I started to think, well, Joe, what are you going to do? What is it that's important to you? What motivates you? And I remember that all my life, I had always wanted to have an impact on others, to do something good to help others. And I thought, and I figured out that the best way for me to do that is to go to law school. But guess what? I didn't have the grades that I really needed to have to go to law school, because I was in college on a track and field scholarship. And as you know, being a Division I college athlete is really like having a full-time job. So I made okay grades, but because I wasn't in class as much as I needed to be and wanted to be, I didn't have the grades that I really needed to have to go to law school. So I made the very hard and difficult decision to call home and talk to mom and dad and ask them, can I come off of my athletic scholarship? And without skipping a beat, with no hesitation whatsoever, they agreed to go ahead and pay for my college, and had to take out a loan to do that. And for that, I'm forever grateful. But what that allowed me to do is focus on those 4 years that I'm asking you to focus in on, and build upon what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Now I'm going to tell you about a story, a personal story within the personal story. And that is, when I got to law school, I wanted to remember what it was that was my source of motivation. So what I did is I put a note on my refrigerator, something that I would see every day, because I firmly believe that what you are looking at, what you hear, what you are around will lead you to where you want to be. So on this note, I wrote just the words, Mom and Dad, because seeing that every day caused me to remember that I didn't get to where I was by myself. Just like each of you, you didn't get to where you are now by yourself. You've had your parents supporting you. You've had your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your grandparents, your friends, your pastors, your high school counselors. You've had a lot of people supporting you. So as you celebrate this graduation and as you move forward, I encourage you and motivate you to always remember that you're not doing it just for yourself. You're doing it for all of those who have loved upon you and who've supported you over the years. And I promise you that if you do those things, stay motivated, work on these next few years to build upon what's going to happen for your lifetime, you've already been successful, but you will continue to be successful for the rest of your life. And remember, it's in God's promise through Ephesians 3:20. He has said to you that he will do exceedingly and abundantly above in your life. And that's a promise. That's not a suggestion. That's a promise. So if you remember that, you're going to do very, very well. So again, congratulations on your accomplishments thus far. The entire community, we support you. And I say that if you've got any questions or need some advice or just want to talk, please, anytime, reach out to me. You can do that through social media. You can direct message me on Facebook. You can call my office at 337-1191. You can call me on my cell number, which is 464-5740, or email me through my law firm's website, which is thenorthlawfirm.com. Again, congratulations, graduates. Salute. Salute.
Servicing Southwest Florida for over 30 years, Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated is your leading family-owned and operated air conditioning company. There's no job too big or too small. Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated is here for you. We have maintenance contracts and financing. For additional information, visit our website, follow us on social media, or call the office at 239-693-1569.
Remember, no matter what the weather is on the outside, have it your way on the inside.
Solomon's Air Conditioning Incorporated.
Service you can count on.
Sick and tired of sitting in traffic, staring at the back end of the car in front of you? Sick of burning through hundreds of dollars worth of fuel each month? Tired of dishing out more and more money to fix your car just to have it break again? Ride Letran and leave the driving to us. Whether you want to go shopping, go to the beach, or commute to work or school, let Letran get you there. It's just $1.50 per ride. Check Letran's routes, maps, schedules, and discounted rates at rideletran.com. That's rideletran.com. Letran, your ride is here.
Hi, I'm Dr. William Glover, Senior Pastor of Mount Hermon Ministries.
And I'm Pastor Cheryl Glover, First Lady and Business Administrator.
Mount Hermon is a progressive ministry with contemporary praise and worship, life-changing teaching from the Word of God, and opportunities to serve the kingdom of God and our community in tangible ways.
The Dew of Hermon Early Learning Center serves children, infants to 4 years old. Our programs include Early Head Start, VPK, School Readiness, and free meals for every child.
For adult learners, join us at Life Christian University, where you can earn an associate, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree in several ministry-related fields.
We are Mount Hermon Ministries,
having a redeeming influence in our community. Come join us.
The Community Redevelopment Agency was always very supportive of anybody bringing a new and unique business. So they helped everybody along to try to navigate what you got to figure out in regards to licensing and seating and store opening hours. And they also helped a lot with the establishment of the events that are going on in downtown. We have Art Fest, Art Walk, Music Walk, Bike Night, numerous events throughout the year.
Fort Myers Community Redevelopment Agency, growing businesses, rebuilding communities, redesigning Fort Myers for the future.
Hi, I'm Dr. Simone Mitchell, principal of the historic Dunbar Community School. Our doors are open to students ages 16 and older who would like to earn a GED diploma or improve communication skills through our English as a Second Language program. Dunbar Community School also offers career assistance upon graduation. For a better future, enroll today and let our experienced faculty and staff help you reach your goals. For additional information or to tour our campus, you may visit our website, find us on social media, or call the school at 239-334-2941, and together we will cultivate a mindset for success.
A smile on the face of a child can say a lot, like I'm safe, I'm happy, or I'm loved. Yet there are hundreds of children in our community with little to smile about. Their homes may have been disrupted by drugs, violence, abuse, or neglect. Won't you please welcome a child into your home as a foster or adoptive parent? A little change in your life can mean a big change in the child's life and put a smile back on their face. Become a foster or adoptive parent. Call the Children's Network of Southwest Florida toll-free at 1-855-933-KIDS.
Hi, my name is Dr. Cindy Banier, candidate for Florida Congressional District 19.
I'm a mom, small business owner, and I'm fighting for our water, our health, and our community. I'm running to be the servant leader the people of Southwest Florida deserve. We need leaders who will listen to and work for the people, not the powerful.
Send Mama to Congress to fight for you. Check your voter registration and vote for me, Cindy Banier, in the upcoming Democratic primary. I am Cindy Banier, and I approve this message.
Are you a single mother who wants a better life for your children? Would you like the means to get an education and get a job so that you and your children can live comfortably? The New Beginnings may be able to help you. The New Beginnings of Southwest Florida is a nonprofit organization that comes alongside single mothers by offering no-cost housing and child care support while you get a degree at a local college or technical school. Too good to be true, you say? We provide necessities, but you do the work to get the degree. Call 239-541-4312 to get an application, or go to our website at thenewbeginnings.org.
Welcome back to Mount Hermon Ministries, having a redeeming influence in our community. And speaking of a redeeming influence, we certainly have a chief of the fire department who has made his name in the community. Tracy McMillian is here. Tracy, welcome to Leap Is Live.
Great to be here again, Lee.
I didn't make a mistake on anything?
No, sir. You're fluid.
No McGrady. Inside joke, people. Yes. It's so good to get you here during this time of the year, especially when we're slowly moving into the hurricane season. Hurricane season is defined with what month?
Yes, it actually goes through June to November. And so those are the time period in which obviously we want to be prepared for prior to, but it's not too late, in the month of June to make sure you have all your supplies, make sure you have your mappings, and make sure that your community and your homes are safe, and you're aware where your nearest evacuation routes as well as where your shelters are. So
now, when I hear June through November, that sounds like a long time to me.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a long time, and there's different plots, and you can look at some of the National Weather Association. It can kind of tell you a little bit about some of the peaks within that season, and a lot of times it's actually determined by how warm or how dry of a season you have prior to it. So sometimes they're a little bit more active, sometimes it's a little less. So.
Now, us typical people moving around our daily lives, we're not really thinking about what's going on out there in that ocean. But for you to just say, hey, Lee, hurricane season is coming, you guys are on extra alert. You're getting emails. You're communicating with state somebody. Tell me about how that is behind the scenes.
Yeah, so we actually start part of our programs in preparation for it in early April. And actually even before then, we look at some of our emergency plans as a city. We look at our emergency plans as a fire department. And about around April and May is when we do our implementation. And the key is that we want our internal staff to be ready prior to hurricane season. So this way, when we get to that season, we're able to actually do our external focuses. So we're not dealing with our own stuff. That's already been taken care of. But we actually clean our own house, take care of all our policies, make sure our supplies are good, make sure our starts are good. We do some plotting. We make sure our organizational structures and our incident command system is set up to be able to take care of our folks and our citizens and residents. So
we can never talk about hurricane awareness too much, particularly here in the state of Florida. It's always good to constantly put that in people's heads.
Yes, sir. Obviously, this is something that we say it's a norm. It's a constant. It's just like when we look at some of those folks who celebrate holidays. When you look at holidays, we know December 25th, that's a holiday. It's a constant. Hurricane season, June through November, it's a constant. It's going to be there, and it's just something that has to be in our Floridian, as a Floridian, has to be in our daily lives. Mm-hmm. Just make sure we're prepared for that.
Now, we're sitting here in Mount Hermon Ministries, and I've seen you with the fire department out here at Community Fun Day and various events that the church put on, health forums. how important it is that we have community-based organizations like Mount Hermon Ministries to be involved with the overall safety and health of our community.
Yeah, I say things like, partners and pillars. And, a lot of times our churches, especially Mount Hermon and many others, these are partners and pillars that actually work with communities and cities, fire departments to make sure we take care of the citizens and the residents. And the reality is we can't do it on our own. And a lot of times you can't, as you said earlier, you can't hear the message enough. And sometimes it depends on what voice it comes from. So having, other, partners that are out there speaking the same message and keeping our folks safe, man, it's just a better way. As they say, it takes a village, right? So
that is something that you've been very passionate about, and you've been, since becoming chief of the fire department, you continue to build those partnerships in the community. Tell us how that is going now under your leadership.
It's going well. And there's more work to be done. You're never really there. But there's a lot of things that we try to do, as we say, community risk reduction is basically our efforts. And what we do is to try to get into our community, because the best way to be a fire service is actually prevention, right? To be reactive when there is a fire or there is an emergency, we can take care of that. Our folks are trained to do that. They can do it. But however, if we can get on the prevention side of it, if we can prevent it from even happening, that gets us more safer. So having opportunities to be with community partners and pillars in the community to kind of get that message out, it just furthers our ability. All right, it furthers our ability to make sure our communities are safer.
Take me behind the scenes when we first started to have the pandemic in the country. How does a fire department sit down and strategically plan how you're going to keep your firefighters safe and then go out and make rescues and save people and all of that? How do you go about that? You're not out, are you out there with gloves on with the water hoses? I think you got those big gloves on anyway, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a different concept.
There's a major change. One of the things that was great for this particular pandemic was the CDC, Florida Department of Health, Lee County Public Safety, and Lee County Fire Chiefs Associations. We're all working in coordination and collaboration to make sure that we all were on the same page. So there was a lot of late nights and early mornings to keep our folks safe. So what we did was just looked at what was the best recommendations from CDC. What was Florida Department of Health saying? How can we institute that into our response matrix and how we go about to serve the community to do that? So one of the things that we did is we started wearing, as popular term now, N95 mask. We started wearing sure that we're wearing gloves. And so the recommendations from the CDC for healthcare workers was very spelled out, very detailed. And so we took those recommendations and made those policies, made those directives. And one of the things that we did, we just tried to look at a lot of internal things that we could do to make sure that not only at work our folks were safe, but also going home. One of the things you talked about with this pandemic, with the COVID-19, was actually folks being carriers. So we want to make sure that we as responders were not being carriers and taking any disease or anything like that, not even though we're not symptomatic, and taking that to our homes, right, or taking to our loved ones. So we did a lot of regimented policies, procedures, operational norms that we changed. We made ones that should make our staff and our crews just a little safer.
And I would think that you guys who are trained at the unexpected, improvisation, being able to adapt to certain situations, that just allowed you to continue to be responsive and be able to deal with whatever circumstances are in front of you?
Yes, sir. Our folks are emergency responders, and change is our life. So what we do is we're used to change and we hear change, but even with that change, the biggest thing, and this goes into relationships, but the biggest thing is communication. That's one of the things that we actually did a lot more of during this time, during that pandemic, is communication. We had daily meetings, daily briefings, weekly briefings, and we just actually had a lot of communication because things were moving quickly and fast, as everyone knows. So it was really important to make sure we got our responders the best information as quickly as possible. So we increased our communication just to make sure they understood the change that was being made.
Now, final question as it relates to a broader context of the pandemic and how it's going to impact on various municipalities around the country. We've been hearing about it. Are we going to have any type of decline in the quality of fire services that we get as a result of the financial situation that the country has been experiencing with the shutdown?
Yeah, so, and as we said earlier, the fire service, emergency services is about change. We are designed and developed, and part of our training is to be able to overcome and adapt. So we believe that we're in great shape right now. We believe that the resources are there to be able to provide that service. Our responders are still trained as they can be. They're still right on top of it, so we're going to be good.
The reason I'm smiling, I'm saying, okay, Tracy comes in, becomes the chief of the fire department, and before a year goes by, the unexpected that happens once every 100 years just drops in there, and all that does is now it can't get any more complicated than this. So if you move your way through this, and everything else is a lot easier. I mean, you could never have predicted that, right?
Yeah, the term "trial by fire,"
right?
So in December I get that appointment and everything's good, but when you start getting validated, and that is an important thing, and as a leader, and that's one thing I'm learning each and every day. And I go to my mentors and I go to folks who have sown into my life as far as what leadership is. This is something that every leader should be tested, should be tried. And this is something that, I was able to find out some strengths and also some weaknesses when it comes to leadership. So when you do that reflection, you say, hey, look, it's just been a couple months. But when you get that promotion, you get that point, it was for a reason. The city manager and the city of Fort Myers saw some value within myself and the leadership group that we have at the city. And to have this time and just so quickly is reassuring to know that we're in good hands and that we can make things happen. So I just thank God for His ability and all those things within my life that have got me to this point was for a reason. So it was a little quicker than I thought, but it came around very quickly.
I've noticed on social media with your fire department and even on your personal social media pages that various individuals have been graduating, whatever that process is called, to become firemen. They're posting pictures, you congratulating them. I'm seeing a decent amount of diversity there too with some of the people who are becoming, what's the word, finishing the academy, or what would that be?
Yeah, so everyone that we currently have picked up and over the last year have been certified. But we put them through a rigorous 8-week orientation. So they met the qualifications to get their certification, but we wanted to give them some on-the-job training for the city of Fort Myers. So we had to define what are the elements and the processes that we need you all to be ready for day one before we put you on that apparatus to go respond. So they go through an 8-week, very vigorous training, and they did well. And then they're on a year probation in which there's actually touch points, benchmarks, and evaluations that are taking place quarterly. And then on the final end, they have one huge evaluation that they did. And we hired 9 people last year. They all were successful. We just brought on, in April, we brought on 6 more that we are in the 8-week orientation in the month of May. And hopefully after their 12-month probation, they'll be good to go. But
the fire department in general is always looking for good people, or do you have a certain point where you got, this is the most we can bring on? I know there are other jobs within the fire department that are not necessarily firefighters. Go ahead and elaborate on that.
Yeah, so just like any job or business, we have our operational levels or our staffing levels. So we're facing a little bit of attrition. There are a lot of folks who got hired some 25 or 30 years ago are now retiring, so we're having to replace that. So within a year, we've actually hired 15 individuals, and we're actually looking at another 20 towards the next couple of years. So we're in that phase of, and I tell our group that we're in that storming phase of change, where we're actually having a lot more individuals. We're going from very old to very mid to young at the City of Fort Myers Fire Department. So we're constantly looking for new staff. We're already planning and programming how we actually can bring more on. We're looking at some diversity. We're looking at where we can actually grow as an organization. So, but Lee County actually has 21 different fire departments that are out there. So they're all looking for staff that can come in and grow their organizations.
21? Man, that's just outstanding. We're so thrilled and so happy to have a fire department that you've gotten a chance to put your stamp on. Keep up the good work, and thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much, Lee. Always a pleasure.
All right. We'll be right back.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.